Transformation for systemic and sustainable innovation. For such a transformation, we need an educational project that involves the entire educational community in the project growth. We leverage on collective intelligence and know that this way of doing is relevant for everybody. The project is enriched by everybody's contribution. It's an inclusive project, a contextualized project. In the previous video, we seen the first transformation. Let's have a look now at the second one. They're all interrelated. Let's talk about the teacher's role. The typical question in all fora, and what about the teacher? The line between teachers and learners is now blurred. We learn a lot from the changing process that other teachers and students undergo. When we undertake a project, we feel like we are uni students again. Teachers are specialists in one or more subjects, but we want them to also guide students as their tutors, not only in the studying of their subject, but in life as a whole, to accompany students while they discover achievements and obstacles, to guide students as educators, always capable of educating at school by being a role model. Teachers who are part of a teaching team, a team that teach cooperatively and where cooperative learning is important for teachers too, to carry out their project, take decisions, and see how students work. Teachers who design learning experiences, able to learn with the others, to be leaders as needed. Teachers who have the urge to develop themselves professionally all the time. This learning attitude, knowing that we need to learn throughout our life. A professional development conducive to research, to action, to the quest for new ways to make school innovation sustainable. Teachers who learn by sharing documents with other teachers, with families and students. Teachers who follow professional development and learn by creating their own portfolio, by reflecting about what learning at all times and in all contexts is about. Teachers who approach their professional development in this way, who love their students, who are happy about their progress and growth, together with their students, families and colleagues, create a learning environment and a culture of joy, of peace, a humanizing culture, basically. We humanize ourselves to be able to humanize other people. Let's watch a video and see how our teachers work together. In team teaching, there are two teachers in a classroom. They can develop a variety of teaching styles to better engage with students' learning preferences. One teaches and the other one helps. According to this model, one teacher is responsible for lesson planning, the other one walks around the classroom, scanning students for peculiar behavior. One teacher delivers the lesson while the other one walks around and hands out learning material. Pros: students receive one-to-one help at the right moment. It's easier to keep students focused thanks to the presence of the second teacher. We save time to hand out material. The assistant observes student behavior that the teaching colleague might not notice. Cons: to students, one teacher is more in control than the other. Students get used to get help straight away. One teaches, the other one observes. In this model, one teacher is responsible for lesson planning and delivery. The other one is the observant who collects important information, which can be used to assess student participation, to assess the teacher's performance, and identify what works and what doesn't. In an English language lesson, a teacher might be moderating a debate while the other one takes notes about the student groups and their pronunciation. It's important that teachers swap roles during a lesson to make sure that criteria are level. Pros: it's easier to gather specific information. The second teacher might spot behavioral traits the other teacher cannot notice. Cons: to students, one teacher is more in control than the other. It's important that students are not passive, but that they understand they play a very active role at school. Not only do they learn to prepare their personal learning plan and life plan, they also learn to regulate their emotions by being aware of their mood, behavior, and emotions. The portfolio helps them to understand where they are with their learning and why. They choose what they like best, discover their strengths and interests. It's a continuous process of discovery. Students are co-creators of their learning. They discover which tools they need to learn. Students who are competent, who believe in themselves. Self-confidence is fundamental to move on in life. They can say, I haven't made it as yet. I cannot do that as yet. And this gives hope. It's important that students know how the mind works, what are its patterns, and how they develop them. This will help them to use their intelligence when facing a problem, dilemmas, when finding learning difficult or daily life difficult. Let's watch a video and see how our students become more and more autonomous at school. Autonomous Learning Day is a weekly day dedicated to working on being self-sufficient, responsible, and on self-managing assignments. First thing in the morning, we give them an infographic showing all the tasks they have to do during the day. The content is familiar to them. They studied it during the term. So we get organized and we say like English first, then maths, then Spanish, or the other way around. It's about getting organized as we see fit, sometimes with our teacher's help, who's there should we need help. We are free to pick what we want to do, when we want to do it. On Autonomous Day, the teacher is a coach to help students find the right tools to accomplish their task. Also, we can attend to each single child individually. We assign students some tasks they have to do on that same day. Students have to manage their time and resources to meet the deadline. Students organize themselves in groups and help each other out to complete their tasks. If they're doing maths, they get together to solve math problems. On Autonomous Day, we work on responsibility, autonomy, and effectual task management. We also work on patience and self-reflection. At the closing of the day, students will fill out a self-assessment table and reflect on the quality of their work, how much they did, the time it took them, and how they solved the task, who they turned to for help, and how they can up their game the following week. They reflect not so much on the content they learned as on how they managed it. I assess myself. I know I don't do everything well, because sometimes I lose focus. So if friends tell me, look at this, look at that, I get distracted and I don't do my assignment. We always say that students are protagonists in their learning, and with the Autonomous Learning Day, we better achieve the weekly targets, which are given on the Monday. Students prioritize the content as they see fit, provided they meet their weekly learning goals. We learn how to become well-organized adults, to work by ourselves and not only in a group. I think it's a fun day, but we work too. It's a day like you do your work, but on your own terms. It's really good. I think it's a very good idea. So that was the second transformation, teacher's role, student's role. We should point out how the first transformation, curriculum, methodology and assessment, gives rise to a new teacher and a new student. In a minute, we are going to watch another video, the third transformation, the school organization. Thank you for your attention.